are you? I know it's going to take a minute to get started. If you're just finding this channel, I'm going to talk about basically when people hit me up looking for a Baba Iyanifa or teacher Iyanifa or leader Iyanifa. Okay? We're going to discuss that. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Okay? Thank you. Peace. Hi. So I'm going to give it a few minutes if you want to stick around because this is live and I know that this recording will go up. If you want to stay and wait around, you could always forward or 2 times the speed or whatever else you need to do. But I hope you get this lesson. Okay? Hey, come on, Woo. A boy about Hey, Mina. How are you? Peace. I know. Color. Y'all don't see me with a bunch of color and stuff on. And hair fluffed out. Peace, Jamie. We're looking forward to you. By the way, when you do your elbow, guess what? The other person doing their elbow has had multiple. This is, I think, their third one. Peace, Athenia. Good to see you. Boy, Shabato. Hey, thank you, Chandler. Appreciate it. Hey, peace. All right. Thank you. That's because I feel the springtime in my heart. But right now, we're actually having some sort of hailstorm or whatever in the DC area happening at this very moment, which I mean is a good sign for the Ebo that we performed earlier. But this is my outfit for today because it's the anniversary for me. So this is my outfit for today. And then later this week is my anniversary of getting my wrist tattoo. Ah, then we are together because you're in the DMV area with me, okay? Because this thing is flip it. I thought it was going to be cold, but no, no, that's not what it's doing. Hey, peace, Delila. Flipping over, let's go. Hey, Auntie Yo. All right, I'm glad that y'all got the tab together, and thank you all for the likes. Okay, this is not gonna be long. At least I don't expect it to be. I don't expect to take 30 minutes of your time because I'm gonna be fussing. Good. I'm glad you're off today. So anyone who comes in after this, P7, let me apologize in advance if I don't acknowledge you by saying your name, okay? It's not that I don't see you. Hey, Billy. It's just that I'm in a trance. And lately, one of the things that I've been doing, closing my eyes as I'm saying something. So for you, you all know that my voice alters depending on what energy presents themselves first. And thank you all for my little 8 likes. I appreciate y'all. Come on, Collins. Hey, boom. Okay? But I'm going to hit y'all with this 1-2 punch. Because number one, I am not looking at like Ia is today. I mean, I'm looking like Ia, but what I want to say is when people come over here, thank you so much. They'll look at me and they'll go, well, you're not wearing head wraps and you don't have on white all the time and you're not presenting this to represent Isheshe or Ifa to say that you're an Iyanifa. Let me just tell you, in the real world, I don't have to announce that I'm anything. People feel my essence when I go somewhere. It is evident in the fact that random people like to tell me about their lives. It's also evident in the fact of when I enter a space and room is made for me. Okay? Peace, Sherry. Good to see you. And thank you for my infinity symbol. Come on, anniversary of this tattoo this week. Coming up. Okay. So, um, sometimes you don't have to wear a billboard for people to know. Hey, hola. Good to see you. You don't have to have, yes, Jamal, you don't have to have people turn around and see you dressed in African garb to know something is different about you. I just don't have to do that because how I live my life is how I live my life. I don't pretend to exude and look a different way outside of. And I know some people like that aesthetic because it makes them feel like they're more at home. Aboya Bushishayaba Ato Iyanifa Noble. Thank you. So it's just one of those things that you just have to get used to when that happens. If you're looking for a whole bunch of signs, you said 30 people. I know, right? I agree. Thank you. It'll just help more people find it. If you're looking for certain types of signs for things to happen, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to say anything. Do you know why we don't have to beat our chest? Because it's unnecessary. You just don't. So let me put that out there. But I'm on social media in a way that I'm trying to educate people the best way I can. So you all know my rules. I don't fight with people's perceptions. I just don't. There is no need for me to try to change a perception of someone because that is their hard earned belief. Faith and perception go hand in hand. So once you believe something, then it is true for you, whether it be true or not. I don't have time for that. So that's number one. Okay. And this is all going to lead in what I'm talking to you about today. So not only is that one thing, the other thing is sometimes you have to remain silent for your own peace. Did y'all hear me? And I know you may have internal whatever, like I gotta say something, I gotta say something. Mm-mm. For your own peace, sometimes you need to remain silent. Okay? Because if you don't, all the fussing you could do, you could talk to yourself, be mad, you could talk to your friends, associates, whatever. They're still not going to completely walk in your shoes to know what's going on. And you're still giving energy to somebody that you don't need to give it to because you're the only one that's hurting. So sometimes you just got to be quiet. Peace, Shay, you should be sleepy. So I needed to say that so you get that. So lately, uptick on ignorant comments on my content everywhere. I don't have time to go back and forth. I'm not going to debate you on your faith. I'm not going to debate you on what you believe. What I am going to do is state the facts as they are. And if you don't believe that that's the fact as it is, I have data to back that up. And you could go Google, since going to the library isn't a thing. And hell, with the way things are going, we don't know if libraries will even exist anymore. And hell, people don't even know how to go look up a book in person anymore. So I'm just telling you, study papers and research papers exist. I teach you these things and I see these things, yes. And I'm trying to get you to realize that our tradition is not something that's just made up and not something that I'm just telling you this stuff for. And you have to be able to work through that and accept that based on your own beliefs. Hey, peace, your riser. Yes, Jamal. You have to do that on your own. If you feel comfortable and what I say to you brings you peace and not anguish, then congratulations, okay? I may be a teacher for you. If that doesn't occur or you're looking for immediate microwave results, you also don't want to work on yourself and you have a belief that extends past what you think I'm talking about, then bye. I ain't the one. Okay? I'm not. Because I'm not up here trying to sell you anything. Never am I trying to sell you anything. The only thing that I've been up on here trying to do is get you to align with whatever resonates with you and your path. And sometimes that means us. That means our Elay. That means our Ifa family. Peace, Don. It's good to see you. Hey, Elijah, good to see you. That's what that means. It is not my job to upsell you and do all these things. Thank you. Don, I really pat it down when I wear the headbands. So it looks smaller. It's actually much longer than you think, but I have shrinkage for real. Okay, all right. All right, so I'm giving you this PSA right now. Do not learn over here from me if you feel that I don't resonate with you and your belief system. If you're coming here because you just want to be educated on a belief system, I'm going to give you the education and I'm going to give you as it is. This is outside of my own personal belief of something. And this is outside of me being instructed that this is the way it must be. It's never that. It will always align with Ifa. It will always align with the oral tradition. It will not always align with everybody's individual Elay that sets their own rules based on colonization and faith. Okay? And I'm saying faith as in all religious constructs demanded by human. Because even when you strip away believing in Olodumare, i.e. God, i.e. source from Ifa, you still have a system of knowledge because Ifa is a system. Isheshe is a system. The Irumule in Orisha system. You'll still have a system of knowledge that exists outside of the source of God. Why? Because we are practical in our learning. So why do I trust my Ile family in Nigeria, particularly? Because they are over 600 generations, okay, of being a Babalawo, of passing down this knowledge with practice. So as I was explaining to the Iyas before, the Iyas in our Ile and the Baba, it's so funny. I'll just say our Ifa family stateside. How about that? When I had this conversation, the reason you can keep it going for us and why I can tell you our ego isn't in it, because do you think everybody in our elate agrees with certain things that are going on now? Let's just say it like this. Do you think everybody is like genders can love each other together? Do you think all of them believe that? Do you not think there are some of them that don't believe that? The same sex genders isn't a thing? But does that negate their job and how they treat you just because of their personal belief? No. And I'm going to explain why over and over again. Although this tradition is oral, and when we think of oral, we think, oh, things change over time. People aren't saying things right. If they had the lineage behind them with the decades of understanding, then it is something that is practiced on a daily basis starting when you're a child. So when we reiterate something and they're doing something, it's like a recipe in cooking. I said this the other day on a live. You may have two people cook collard greens totally different, but there's a traditional way that they learn to cook it for hundreds of years. And because they cook it this way, they don't have to write it down. You know why? Because every time they want to cook it, everybody in that family participates in how it's cooked. So therefore, the knowledge remains the same. It does not become impeded by what someone feels. So, what you feel based on society and whatever they consider to be normal or however they want you to do it does not speak to the tradition of what it is. Do y'all hear me? I want to make this clear because I'm really tired of saying this shit to people in different ways when they message me, when I have to consult with them on the phone, when I'm saying whatever. So when I say we about making you feel safe because we're dealing with your higher self, we're not dealing with what you look like. We're not dealing with what your life is today because those are your choices that now I'm going to switch to believing in Olodumare. Those are your choices, divine by source, divine by God, that because they love you so much, they allow you to make them. They allow you to make your mistakes. They allow you to make whatever you're going to do. But either way, they are still going to care for you because they gave you enough love and support. I was just telling this to the young lady who had her elbow today. People mistake unconditional love for an unconditional action. But the true ideal of source and unconditional love is being able to constantly make mistakes and have the opportunity every day to make up for it, to change your trajectory. Even if you go negative, right? Then that's your negative. You want to be a negative person, do negative things. That does not negate the source cares about you so much. They allow you to sit in what you believe is your truth and how you want to feel. And so every time I talk about Olodumare and Olodumare is in you, and you're like, I think I'm a bad person, or somebody, I gotta watch how I word it on Tube View. Somebody hurts people in a way that is tragic. I understand that and know it doesn't feel good. However, Source gives you the ability to change your life every day. That is divine love. That is unconditional love. That every moment that you wake up, you can change that. That is what Ifa speaks about. That is why we do Dafa or divination. Because every time we get information and we want our life to be better, that is what we're giving it for. Okay? So hopefully, I'm going to add this to a playlist. I think I removed the spiritual playlist. I'm going to add this to the EFOP playlist because every bit of it sort of fits in whatever. But I think people need to hear that. And maybe I need to denote the first ever minutes of it because they're missing that because you're trying to make love be the actions of what you see, feel, and how you operate on honestly a lower energetic level. Let's just be frank, okay? You see it as those things that you do in your human essence, but you don't even pay attention how connected that your Ori is to source. And I'm not talking about what you think in your mind. Your Ori is beyond that. That you get symbols and things that try to lead you in a direction that would make it more palatable for you because of that divine love. But if you choose to work against that, then when you work against that, that's a problem. And then you're like, the whole world's against me. Nothing goes my way. I just had a consultation with someone yesterday who spoke to somebody from the interwebs that they idolize and have been watching for years. And they were disappointed in how they were received because they had an expectation on them and a faith in them that existed that did not speak to who they were as an individual. There are times in your life where that still will be a thing, right? But there are other times where sometimes you will meet someone that is getting you where you need to be, but because your head self doesn't agree with your higher self, you will sabotage yourself and go in the same cycle every time. And I can only say so much and it just be like, I don't know what to tell you. Because as much as I want the best for you, I want the best for everybody because they deserve that. And why did they deserve that? Because Ifa teaches us a divine love, divine source. And that divine love is the ability to pick yourself up and change your life every day. You can talk to as many psychics you want to, tarot readers as you want to. You know, they'll tell you, whoever, intuitives, "Oh, well, the energy at this moment," and then people get mad. Well, they lied and that was fake and that wasn't such and such and such. And some people, they actually operate in that space on that frequency. Other people, they operate in ego because they want to be what they think is special, not realizing they were special without intuitive abilities in the first place. And those are the same people that try to push whatever they believe on other people. You just can't do that. Number one, that doesn't bring you peace. How are you having peace by having your ego say, this is what I know, feel, see, whatever, when you don't even trust yourself enough to believe the stuff that you're doing? You don't trust yourself enough to know you doing the right thing. So how are you going to dictate to other people what they need to be doing? I'm not saying everybody's life is perfect when they walk into a life of service. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everybody knows by the time they get to a certain point that they can trust themselves to do the right thing for themselves, therefore doing the right thing for everybody else around them. Okay? So, all of this goes into what I'm going to now continue to talk to you all about. Okay? It's this ego thing and these people, and I'm trying not to cuss on here so that this thing does not take over. And I'm not talking about an energy or entity this time, but me fussing in my own head and cussing because I want to get the point across because that's how passionate I feel about it. And here we go, okay? Let me take a drink of water. Bosheshe abo acto Ia Regina. It's good to see you, child. Yeah, child. And any more dark color. Thank you, Don. And Don, I saw the other part of your thing. Thank you. I'll do my best, but if it's cold like it is today, but I didn't have to iron and I could be cute, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay? So this gets to my point. I just told you about ego. I just told you about other people doing their thing, but it is not our job. We don't interpret or do by changing the substance of Ifa. I'm going to say it again. We don't interpret or do by changing the substance of Ifa. That is not what people who practice Ifa for real and traditional Ifa for real should be doing, because it goes against the very principle of the job that we said we wanted to do. Not all Iyas and not all Babas are going to be a teacher. Then it's not meant for them. Okay? When you do this, you do it for yourself and it benefits everybody else. I always say that. And when I mention self, some people don't realize that means self-learning, being self-aware. That is totally different than spewing up stuff just so you can make money for yourself or for you to make money for your elay, sometimes under the direction of your elay, whether they be in the States or not, whether they be back home in Nigeria or not. Money and the benefits of that will come. You know what else comes? Love. You know what else comes? Friendship. You know what else comes? Yeah. Do you know? Finance. You know why those things come? Because all the other things are aligned. You even gain family that you didn't know you had. All of those things are abundance because you are doing the right thing. And the right thing is telling the truth and acting in accordance of the Odu, because we do not manipulate Ifa and the Odu to meet whatever we think our standards and expectations should be. And that is the problem. You have elays and stuff established now that will do that and mix it up with Christian principles and or other principles. And just think about this for a second. I just told you oral tradition, which also means in practice. So when you start learning as a child, you are orally taught and you do. This is why the information doesn't get misconstrued. So when you see and hear that someone's misconstruing something, you're like, Then you have to ask, well, how long have they been doing this? Because some of the things that we are asked, although the Odus may seem simple as far as the rules to follow, you're wondering, how does that exist today and work today? Because those rules don't have to do with you as a human being. Those rules are established by the energies of situations that have occurred in the past and continue to repeat itself. It's that simple. So if you know in all the universe, people will still have these same questions. People will still have these same issues over and over again. How divine is this system for that to exist? And I spoke about that in one of my earlier videos. Not only does the system exist, but the same animals, chants, plants that we need in order to balance out energy of a situation still exist to this day. They have not gone anywhere. Peace, Ladria, it's good to see you. That is amazing. And that should be respected. But when people want to F around and find out and change things and they didn't learn something properly, but they'll believe in their whole heart. Again, I'm not debating your belief. What I'm going to debate is you go somewhere, stuff doesn't work out for you, and everything goes to shit. That's what I'm going to debate. The fact of the matter is your life is now effed up. Why? Because you half dabbled in this, half dabbled in that. Because the people who said they knew all the things forgot a step because they never learned it in the first place. Therefore, it isn't a perfect semblance for you. It doesn't work in a line with you. You get all the heads up in your forehead. Stop doing that shit because it ain't working for you. But then you turn around and judge everybody else who does what this person says they do. They say they do Ifa. They say they do Isheshe. They go home every once in a while, back to Nigeria, etc., etc. And you still note your life is still, if that's still happening and you still getting slapped in your face and you're not realizing there's a problem, what you gonna do? That means your Ori guided you enough to say, hey, I'm gonna trust these people. Peace, Angela, it's good to see you. I'm gonna trust these people. Now you upped up now. So now it's time to move on and find other people to trust. Because now you have proven to your Ori that you're willing to slide down a cliff. You may not have jumped, but you were sliding because it took you a long time to get to where you wanted to do. Because you like, I'm not about that life. I am not a bungee person because I don't want to be jerked back. And I'm definitely not hang gliding off this joint. And I don't know about climbing because I'm going to look down and look back. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just slide down. Okay? So now on your way sliding down, you get hooked on some things. And as you get hooked on those things, more and more of the truth that is supposed to be for you comes. And now, here you are. Happy days, right? Doing all the things. Thank y'all for the lights. I appreciate it so much. Hopefully, this will help somebody else looking for stuff. Now that you got there, you know when you see and feel what is real versus when it's pretend and somebody's making it up. Now, if you still operate in your head space instead of your higher self, listen to what I'm saying. Head space, different, ego. Higher self will always lean you towards the right direction, but you still have to make the decision. That's how much your higher self respects you. Okay? Do you respect that? No, because you're still trying to figure out what it sounds like. Because you're always thinking that to be divine, it's outside of you. But that's not the case. Okay? So you get these little things and you're like, this is not going right. I'm not handling this right. What's going on? Maybe it's me. Let me back up for a second. Sometimes it can be a person. You know why? Because they're too selfish. And listen, I'm saying this. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need some water. They're too selfish to realize that the whole essence of what I said Ifa was and is so simple that they think that something is wrong in general because they're not getting what they think they deserve when they don't know what they deserve because they're too selfish. I say, Ifa is about yourself. And after you get yourself together, you can help other people. Here's the selfish part. I wasn't coming here for me. I was coming here for other people. Or I thought I would start learning some of the magic and stuff. When am I going to get the magic of Ifa? When am I going to get the chant stuff? Okay, Ifa is for yourself. So you think that you going to take Ifa respectfully, do things like magic, like hoodoo, and I'm not disrespecting the practices. I just want you to understand because people think because they learn a spell or they learn an incantation that that is the savior of what it is that they need to do. Self work is real because if you don't do that thing, you can't do anything else to take care of anybody else. Everybody always says, save yourself, put the life mask on yourself. But you don't even know what that means because you've never operated in that space. And because you've never operated in that space, anything that we tell you that you need to handle, you like, it can't be me. That's not me. I don't know about that. But when are you going to teach me the stuff, though? Okay? All right. So now, let me bring this to now and let me take some water. If y'all going to comment, please go ahead because I'm about to get to this, hitting my ass up, asking me questions about who's the teacher. And I needed to go to ego and all that just for y'all to understand this. Okay? We are, look, my arms crossed now because I have a two. And let's see if my voice gets deeper. Y'all, let me know if my voice changes while I'm doing this. It seems like it's going to change. Let me know, okay? We are the embodiment of all that is divine. That includes parts of source that exist within us. That's why there's Ori, okay? So you can't equate that you think with being a bad or a good person denies that source is in us, regardless of whether you're an ass or the current ass we have as president, allegedly. Let's see if that gets this taken down. Okay? So I want to be clear so that you understand. That doesn't negate the sources in them. Okay? So, in that, when I'm telling you stuff and I'm teaching you stuff, and because I'm not shouting it from the rooftops of Yoruba, and because I'm not teaching you all the protocols of something, that does not negate the knowledge and the power that's behind the simplicity of what I'm saying. I'm saying it that way so you can retain it. I'm saying it that way so I can get rid of all of the ignorance that come, even from my own people. They're initiated in this thing. But see, they got a wind up their ass that thinks I need to just take on God children and shit and just be teaching everybody because all they see is dollar signs. And there are many people that are envious of the fact that I say I just do this thing. However, I get compensated for that, it is by the grace. You know why? Because the abundance came because I trusted myself in my Ori and I'm doing the right thing, which is not always easy. And what's so funny is that's a saying that my colonel father would say to me, well, just do the right thing. One day I told him I was tired of doing the right thing because it always bites me in the ass. I was like, why do I have to be the one to do the right thing? Right. And I took it to mean do the right thing all the time. But then when he retired from the Pentagon, his whole speech was about doing the right thing. Even when they didn't want him to become promoted, even when people were just pushing him down from stuff. Hey, peace and welcome. The same thing happened. Okay? He was one of few to go to military school in Fort Leavenworth, one of few black people, and he was an officer. And somebody told him, boy, you don't need to be doing this. He was the officer that worked with Furman University, first black officer to do so. And he faced racism and stuff every day. And I don't think I understood that completely because as a child, I knew we were the only black people living in an all white neighborhood in the South. A boy, but y'all. Um, I didn't understand that completely. And then he admitted during this retirement, and this is my father's second retirement. This was his retirement from the Pentagon, civil service for 12 years, on addition to his 28 years of service. Okay? Thank you so much, Naomi. I wanted to point that out to you because as a child, I didn't know these things till he said this speech. That there was a time that he even wanted to quit the military. And he's so glad that he didn't because it provided a foundation for his children and a life that he didn't think he would have ever been able to get them coming from the deep roads of South Carolina with no money, no whatever. There was a guy that he worked for who wouldn't let him eat in the restaurant because he was black. He told me he had to eat outside with the dog. This is why my father didn't like pets. So whenever I wanted a pet, he didn't want to deal with it. And I didn't know that. It's another reason why he didn't wear jeans because they were uncomfortable and they were hand-me-downs. He never wore jeans. Even now, he doesn't wear them. And because he still did the right thing, he went back to that restaurant where they wouldn't serve him in his uniform and dared them to put him back on the porch. Do you feel what I'm saying? Okay? Because he wanted to show them that he was better than what they thought he was. Even when he went to South Carolina State, the same school that I graduated from and my brothers graduated from as well, he showed up there like, I'm going to come here and go to school. And they nurtured him. And that's when he joined ROTC. That's why he goes so hard for that, because it still changed the trajectory of his life. So all of these things he would always say, even though they treated him like something. I remember him telling me he picked cotton at some point. And I'm telling you this is 60s, 70s now. I just want you to be clear. He was picking cotton and he went to have it weighed. They thought that he was wetting the cotton along with some other people, and he did not. And they beat him for that. He actually worked that hard for it to be weighed the way that it did so that he could have it. And they beat him for it. Okay? So I need to okay, Sharon, peace. I need you to get that. And even in that, he did the right thing. Okay? So here we are today as I'm growing up and we're living around the world and experiencing all the things that we're experiencing. My parents never came to me, and this is why I told you ego, and never said, these people of a certain color generation treat you like shit. And my parents don't curse anyway. I'm the cursor. Okay, whatever. But point is, you just need to stay away from them and you need to do so and so and so. Never did he do that. He treated people, and my mother treated people as well as they were. So if you came to us on a good note, he dealt with you on a good note. Even at Furman, when that dude told him, boy, you don't belong here, and they did everything they could to make it look like he wasn't doing his job. Do you know how I learned to swim? The football players that were taking ROTC because they thought it would be easy because they needed to get their grades up and found out it wasn't easy. They went to him and asked him for help on getting themselves together so that they could pass because they wanted to graduate and possibly go into the NFL. Those same football players turned around and, as extra credit, they taught me how to swim in Furman's swimming pool. Okay? So he would have them come afterwards. He would have them come to our house too, and he would sit with them to help them learn what they were having a problem doing, map reading or whatever. And I remember as a kid seeing them and not thinking anything of it. And then he would have them come meet me at the pool there and teach me how to swim. That's how I learned how to swim. You know why? Because he was doing the right thing. And we're not even going to speak about my mom and her work with special needs and how she had to get a scholarship to go to school in Tennessee that just treated her horribly. But she came back and still went into service. So I'm telling you all of these things for a reason. They were treated wrong, particularly my father in his line of career. And no matter how bad he was treated, he still did what he was supposed to do. And in that Pentagon retirement, do you know those some of the same white students that he had at Furman showed up for him? A whole bunch of them. It was like 12, 13 of them showed up for him at that retirement when other students in other places acted a fool. He was also the reason why Virginia State became number one in the state. Do you know that the ROTC program changed the rules because they thought they were cheating? Because they were a low grade school, according to them being a HBCU, historical black college university. So since they changed the rules, he met those rules and had them change what they did. And all they got mad at him because of how he was teaching them. The students were not happy. Okay, those soldiers were not happy in their ROTC program. Couldn't understand why they had to still come over after hours, do this. They got mad. Do you know they became the number one and remained that for all the years that he was that he was over that program? All of these things I didn't realize were going on. Do you know they showed up there too? And some of those same people even surpassed him in rank, becoming general from Virginia State and also from Furman. So I want to give you that foundation so that I can get to this being a female and Iyanifa and people coming to me asking me, am I getting you all to join for my Baba or for my Alubu? And who's their teacher? Are you listening to me? Who's their teacher? That comes from the first thing I talked about, trusting yourself and your ovary. So you as a female in this tradition, you really gonna believe these people in the diaspora that tell you you don't have no weight and you can't teach people whether they're male, female, indifferent? Okay? You can't teach them. I heard something for the first time from an EI recently, who I've just recently became acquainted with. And this bothered the shit out of me when I heard it. And y'all know I started in Santeria before I found the truth of where my practice came from. They said to me, do you know, in a particular Ile I was in, if you had Oshun with you and you were dark skinned, they would tell you Oshun wasn't you. You're not a child of Oshun. You must have been, you had to be light skinned. That's a derivative of this practice. But I know that still exists in some of the people who say they practice Isheshe. Oh, thank you very much. It's a dress. I don't remember where I got it. Thank you. So, what I couldn't understand is why did you have to be light skinned or near white in order for you to be Oshun from a practice, a system that's traditionally Yoruba, which is very, very, very much African. Not black now. Black is under a social construct of colonization and racism that established itself very, very well in the United States. Okay? So, not even that. African. The basis of the whole thing that you are a derivative of is African. And that is your thing. So that would mean then in all essence, then we don't know because we can't tell you whether Oshun was really chocolate or not. And that's why people get so confused when they see fair skinned Yoruba people who, when you test their blood, it still says I'm very much black, i.e. I'm very much African. I'm very much Yoruba, but you can't figure out why that's a thing. That bothered me because then I realized not only is that part of the colonization system, who else and what else is being, said or done. It's also why I tell you don't look at books. Practical application is how you learn. Learn the fancy shit later. If you don't understand yourself in this and trust yourself, you're not going to understand nothing else you get introduced to. Say it in your vernacular, your language. Okay? So now I'm going to go forward to that. So these people told you you're not light bright, so you can't have Oshun walking with you. Crazy sauce. And then you can't learn from a woman. Doesn't that sound very much like, oh, I don't know, any other religion that's written in a book? See, those things have been proven also to be changed throughout history and time based on the different variants that exist. But now people only stick to one book that they still keep changing. but you still take it as the word of a Lodomari and or source that still teaches you about killing a bunch of babies and stuff, allegedly. Let me see if let this stay up. Still teaches you about harming people in order to get what you want. I just want to make sure I hear that. Whereas in our Odus, there are lessons for mistakes that were made that then became positive. And the only reason they became positive, even if they may have dealt with the same type of things, is because those then became precedent for lessons that continue to orally be passed down. Do you feel me? Does someone understand where I'm coming from? So, someone told you that as a woman, I can't teach you shit. I can't participate in nothing. I'll never be whatever hierarchy or do the things, and you need to learn it from a man. A man had to tell you as a woman that you're worthy. Okay. You with the energy and the essence of creation in your soul, that the body that your soul exists in, because it's just a vessel now, happens to have that essence in it. That you can't do anything, just like when they did with pastors. You can't be a pastor of a church because you are a woman. But look today what they had to fight for. But there was nothing in the book that told them that. Okay? So I need to say that. Peace, Baba Reggie. It's good to see you. So when I get people that are like, "Hey, how do I get in contact with your Baba to learn from me?" Do you not think that we don't have support, whether you be male, female, or indifferent? You don't think we have support from our elders? Wait, no, you don't. You know why? And I'm looking directly at these people who full of some bullshit up here trying to say they teaching and doing the tradition because you think you could do this shit on your own. Therefore, you lost contact for whatever reason. People will go and change teachers. That's understandable. But then you lost contact for whatever reason with whoever you needed to be with to be your teacher. And then that teacher gate keeps the rest of their life so they don't have other teachers that they can go to, and however they put their ego into whatever they teach you, then that is what you think and take as the gospel, and then you keep doing those things. I'm looking directly at you. For those who are learning from this live, who will then turn around and regurgitate the shit that I'm saying, I want you to pay attention. There is nothing in my walk that will ever equate to anything that walks with you and how you walk. But the one thing that I can tell you that I got as a foundation, and I'm grateful to Olodumare and my Ori and all the Rumile and the Orisha that walk with me, including Infa, is that I come from a household in which my father taught me to do the right thing. So that said, I'm going to do the due diligence of researching who I'm about to be with and be under and make sure that they continuously have teachers. So my EI had a teacher. That teacher happens to be my Lou now. Why? Because respectfully, that EI said, you need to go to this person because you need more knowledge and information than I can provide you. So now Alul is my Alul. Why is he called Alul? Because he knows all of the things via practice in the Rumule system that is needed to nurture and grow and help people. He's the reason he can sit up there and type y'all's little things together and be able to tell you exactly what the recipe is to help mitigate your situation. He ain't copying and pasting that from nowhere. I've been there with them typing it. And you know why that is? Because his father used to make them while he was chanting, have him and his brothers sit on a computer at a time where they thought that Babas didn't want their children to be educated outside of that and would make them type everything he was saying. And before they were typing, they were handwriting everything he was saying while they were doing anything, ebo, ritual, whatever. He did that on purpose, and they did practice. So that's why he can be called an Ulu and spit out those things. Now, let me get to why my Iya, all points and purposes, could be called the same, but is not. Because there is no need for a different elevation for someone who is directly aligned with creation that is a woman. So the reason I'm pointing that out to you is because we give birth. Not everybody has the gift to be able to actually give birth, but that does not mean that the essence doesn't exist in them for that ability for creation. Okay? So, because of that, they don't give us different titles. We're like levels. It's like you being, let's say, a general. You know, they have a 4-star general or 3-star general or 2-star general. That's how EIs work. And it's respectfully based on the knowledge in which they gain, they share, and they teach. So she was like, hey, I'm going to pass you on to this person. And this person is the person I go to. And then that person, when I need to know something or we're having a discussion, they'll say, this is as it was taught to me. This is as the elders said to us when they were teaching us. And then from that point, if there's anything that they're not sure about, what do you think Aralu does? He goes to someone else. But ask me, did I ever go to him and go, who's your teacher? Can I just talk to them? Did I ever do that? Did I ever do that to my Ia? Ask yourself, did I ever go, who's your person? I just want to talk to them directly. What is it about women in this tradition who want to practice, want to be an Iyanifa and all the things that they don't trust themselves and see themselves as powerful enough to hold rank in this tradition? Because I know it's not in practice, because when we go back home, they participate. When we go back home, hell, even some of the apotopes participate. And just because you're an apotopy, that does not mean that you are initiating the tradition. That also does not mean that you practice at all. You're there to support your spouse. You know what they call the husband of a person that's an Ia and not even initiating nothing, husband. You know why? They don't need a separate distinction. But for some reason, some people want to feel all special and have a separate distinction. But there are some that don't even participate in shit. You don't have to be aligned with somebody in that way. They just need to support what you believe in. So it's just so crazy to me when I get a message that then wants to equate, I must be either, oh, this must be your person you have to go to, you're dealing with these things, you're not the person that teaches anybody anything. And there's only two energies that we as females cannot interact with. And I say this all the time, two. And in those two, anything that needs to be learned that we can't do, that's why we got teachers. If Alua doesn't do it, somebody around him will do it. And I can call on them and say, can you help me with this? If at any point they need to talk to a Baba that's with us, I can say, do you need to help me with this? But honestly, after you initiate, you spend the first couple of years trying to figure yourself out so you could do that thing that I said at the beginning of this whole video. And it's about aligning with your Ori and trusting yourself. I'm so glad you caught it, Queen. Because if you don't trust that, how can you do anything else? It sounds simple. And some people go, I do trust myself, but you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be questioning every damn thing you do. You would realize that you don't want to fail yourself. But see, when you're in your head self versus your Ori self, you don't listen. Your gut and your feet will lead you where you need to be. That's the movement. Your gut and your feet. Okay? So the next person that sends me a message, I'm just going to send them this video. Stop asking me about, am I just doing this and who's the real teacher? Ooh, I was about to cuss. Me. I'm the real teacher. Hierarchy, me. You got questions, you come to me. If we ever got to get on the phone with Lou, guess what? I will be on the phone. If you try to call him directly when we do Ebo, he not going to answer you. He going to send you right back to me. Why? Because that's respect of the hierarchy. Okay? Let me see. I'm looking. I see a message. All right. So now moving on. Now that we got that, what is it you as a female that you can't trust another female to lead you where you need to be? So what is it about yourself that you don't trust anything that a man needs to tell you that you can lead and be worthy? Because what you don't understand is we keep telling you it's not about that. When Ifa speaks, that's Ifa. That is the essence of the mediator and communication of all things. That's not that Baba telling you that. So when I get people that say this ER told me this or that Baba told me that, and I said, well, did they consult Ifa? Well, they said they consult Ifa. Well, then if they're telling you and it sounds like it's coming from them, then that's exactly who it's coming from. And you know what will let you know? Your higher self, your gut, and your foot. Your foot to walk you where you need to go, which is the opposite direction because your gut tells you it don't feel right. It keeps going to the, if it doesn't bring you peace, leave it in pieces. I drop these simple nuggets for you to have self actualization. Like you get it. I say it in such a simple way because I wanted to resonate with you in a way that you're not confused. But do you know how crazy it is to me that people just confused anyway? It's like it doesn't matter. It's like I'm talking for no reason. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I try. Then I bring in other people to help me try. Because sometimes I think maybe it's because, oh, well, you're EI. So, I think that's what it is sometimes. So let me tell you, can a male learn under a female? Yes. You know why? Because I don't gatekeep my teachers, and my teachers don't gatekeep their teachers. They will go to elders, male or female, and ask the question. And that's why that's possible. Another reason why I practice traditional isheshe that is not convoluted by man's expectations and or ego. It's not even convoluted by society and what they consider to be normal. You know why? Because your ori, separate from your soul, even though people try to make it over so. Your ori and your soul operate on different frequencies that the source communicates with through Ifa. Okay? And your destiny via Odu will always remain constantly changing, but the ability to pull all those things together to give you whatever you need because it connects to you outside of this body. Who you are at the core is not who we see in this reality. Who you are at the core is everything beyond what you could imagine for yourself, even when you don't think you're great. That is what we communicate with in Ifa. We don't communicate with what you think. We don't give a shit what you think. We tell you as it is. Okay? That's it. We don't communicate with what you think. We don't communicate with how we, as human beings, the person conducting these investigations, if you will, how we think or feel about you is not important. I cannot like you to shit. But with my oath that I've taken to be an Iyanifa, if you ask me for help, I'll give you the help. Why? Because it ain't about me. Something in your spirit said she may not like me and I don't like her, but I know she definitely gonna get it right and do her best to help me. Why? Because my ego isn't in the helping you. It's for what? What good is that gonna do? Make that make sense. The only truth of the matter is you gonna need me before I need you because I follow directives. That's it. Okay? So if one more person send me a message anywhere and ask me about is Lulu the one who really teaches them such and such and such, yada yada yada, they gonna get this middle finger in my spirit, representing every part of the body it's supposed to represent with that middle finger. Do you understand? Since you want to have a man because it has to be a man. Let me get some water. Having my moment. I think I'm done. So colonization. On the better news, Baba Reggie that's in here, we're going to do his interview on Sunday. Y'all have been waiting for it at 2:30 p.m. Okay? And y'all know I must really love this man if I'm doing it at 2:30. His schedule is crazy. And respectfully, I need to bend my wheel a little bit and go there. Now you're the best. It's just, I don't understand men following women because of colonization and how religion is structured. They think that happens in tradition. And sadly enough, some of that has seeped into our Yoruba tradition over there. But because we have generations of Babas and little Iyas with that Ile, and we watch them do practical practice as they do everything. So we know it's not diluted. Because we have that, we understand that that dynamic, the way they're trying to separate us, doesn't exist. Because truth be told, you cannot do things without both energies. You just can't. There's always a balance. For instance, people see the Yamis as negative. They're not negative. They're not. They exist alongside source. However, if there are things that you do as a human being that impacts them in a way where they need to react to you because you not understanding shit, then they react. Does that make them negative? No, perspective. That makes them righteous in what it is that they're reacting for. Okay? So when you have to mitigate and deal with them, that is why. Every Ebo for us, which is so crazy for me because I don't know how people go to other places and don't see this part of the process like this. They either don't see it or they don't understand it. Every Ebo, Eshu will always be involved. And not because he's a trickster. That's some bullshit. I don't have time for that. Eshu will always be involved the same way Iyamis will always be involved. You know why? There's a yin and a yang. There's a balance to everything you do. And you're always going to make sure that you have all energies in balance. It is not for the crazy reasons everybody want to tell you it's for. Are there Odus that speak to that? Absolutely. But the general purpose of this Irumule system, of the science of the system, is energy equates energy. Balance is how you balance energy. Whenever I talk to you all about ebos, I said to balance the energy in your situation. So my case in point, you have an ebo, okay? You go and do something and you're like, I don't know if it balances the situation. Am I going to be safe? Well, did you trust yourself in the first place that you did the right thing for yourself? Did it bring you peace when you did it? So then why are you going to bring your worry into your peace? Which tells me you really didn't trust yourself. That goes along into all those people who initiate into 4, 5, 6 different things and then want to tout, I use all of them in order to help you. Sorry, I'm about to cuss. Hold on. No, B. You use all of them because you didn't understand the concepts of what you were doing in the first place. So if all of them duplicate something in order in that particular variant is what is used for the same energy, even if it's called a different name, then answer me this just by common sense. Why would you have to triple, double, quadruple do the same thing? If you want to mitigate something, why do you need to do it in all these different things in order for it to work? You know why? Because you didn't trust you picked the right thing for yourself in the first place. You didn't understand. You didn't think it was good for you. And you know why you didn't trust yourself? Because you didn't do the self work. You didn't wait to see how things panned out in your life with one thing, that you went and did all these other things. And now there's a bunch of confusion because you have a bunch of ways that people want to manipulate energy, all working against each other, but you think you the shit because you initiated into all these things. That just doesn't make sense to me. Then you want to teach on all those things, but you don't even have the gonads to stand on the shit you need to stand on. 10 toes down. So pick one and stick with it. I think I'm done. I'm going to go read your comments, trust me. And then I will answer it from there. And then I'm going to let y'all go because I've been on here longer than I thought it was going to be. We almost coming up on the time, actually. Okay? So when you go 10 toes down, pick one. Stick with it. You know why you're going to stick with it? Because you trust yourself. And you know why you trust yourself? Because you know that you wouldn't fail yourself. The only people who end up failing themselves are the people that listen to their head self and not their higher self. You want to know all the things, but you don't want to do all the work. And those things can't go hand in hand. Peace does not come without progress, and progress requires work. No worries, Jaquetta. Excuse me. Let me scroll back down now, because time's up, and you know, people on the tube of you don't have, what is the word, patience anymore. And I appreciate y'all who came over from the Talkative. They don't have patience. But I'm glad I could talk about that. Colonization taught you that a man needs to be the one to lead you. Isn't that crazy? Colonization also taught you that you can't, as a woman, hear anything. And to the men, colonization taught you that no woman can lead you when all they've been doing is leading you. And if we want to do this as non binary and non gender, colonization taught you that feminine energy means being soft, but feminine energy means having a knowing and working towards that knowing. Masculine energy means doing the exercise to do it, following through, right? And y'all know I don't do feminine and masculine often, but I want to make sure that I appeal to everyone here. So, that said, if you're following someone who is practicing this thing, they will never tell you that because you are a particular gender and or identify as something else that's outside of the scope of what they consider to be proper and whatever, that they can't help you, you can't initiate, you can't do stuff. That just sounds so crazy to me, because at the end of the day, energy is energy. Before you enter this body, this vessel, your energy. And what does Olodomare deal with through Ifa? Energy. Period. What is the basis of quantum physics that people want to like argue me down on? Energy. And that's why when I get ignorant comments like the one I got on my video where I was answering the woman who said she had a dream, I said, you don't have to agree with me. I had to talk to elders, which means I spoke to more than one person at one time before I even addressed the statement. Regardless of what my personal beliefs are or your personal beliefs are, again, I don't have to like you to help you. That's not to say that I don't. I'm just telling you what the deal is and what the job is. It's just killing me that someone felt the need to write a whole like dissertation about history and how it needs to just stay with black people and all these things such and such. It is not for me to change your perception at all. What I'm telling you is this system, this Irumule system that is practiced as a tradition called Iseshe, deals with energy. And energy in its purest form doesn't come with a sex, doesn't come with color, doesn't come with creed, regardless of how much we want to keep it to ourselves. Do I understand the reasoning? I do. But, and my butt is like, but my G, it's not man made. We are not a religion, although you hear that. We are a system that deals with energy, physics, even. Even our singing deals with that stuff. We are a Irumule system. That's what I keep telling you. System. That's what it is. In the system, we do this. In the system, we do that. There's a system to everything. We are a computer, and what you put into that computer is what you get out. It's not what you put in with your emotions or how you feel or what the world does. That's not it. It's very simple. We stick to the basics of what it is. And those basics is what rules the world. Okay? All right. I'm scrolling now. But thank you, yeah, Jaquetta. I'm going to scroll and look at your questions. All right? All right. And if you have any more questions, you got like 2 minutes because I need to get off this joint. And Don, thank you for telling them to hit the like button. And thank y'all for your support because gosh knows I needed it. I hope. You know what? Let me not say I hope. Let me just speak to this right now. Olodumare, I ask that this video continues to live on and surpass my time here on earth, and that it continues to teach those who find themselves not only at a crossroads, but really want a better understanding and a respect for this beautiful tradition. I ask that you guide those who are already here to whatever brings them peace and understanding. And more importantly, I ask that anybody who comes to the system of Isheshe via knowledge or seeking Onarisha, via knowledge or seeking more about the Irumule, via knowledge or seeking more to help their life because they may think it's in shambles. That this video here puts them on track for wherever they need to be. It doesn't even have to be here. But whatever that is for them, I hope that it brings them peace. And more importantly, I hope that it brings them a certain level of honor and respect for themselves. Ashe. All right. I'm good now. All right. Thank you very much, Don. Oh, thank you very, very much. Thank y'all for the Ashe. Ashe, Ashewa. I had to do that for my people. Okay. Thank you. Because really, I need that to be the thing. All right. They just finished appeasing the Ayamis. So my person on here that got their Ebo today, I just got the text from Malu. All right. I need to thank you. Ashel, thank you. Because I think somebody needed that. So I hope this helps them. And for those people who doubt themselves, don't do that. All you can do is do the best that you can do. And your best is good enough if you're really doing your best. But trying to pacify, skate by, and ignore, nope. I know you are, Queen. Okay, thank you, Ian Naomi. I'll get it. Yes, it should be. We're just waiting. We're finishing up our episodes that we have now, and then we're doing a schedule for the next coming up. So, yes, no worries. It might be closer to the end of the month, but we're trying to do it in the middle. I'm so glad, Amina. Because nothing hurts my soul more than people being disappointed in a certain way. And y'all just don't know what I hear on a daily basis. You just have no idea. And just because somebody has millions of followers, that does not mean they know what they're doing or for your higher good. The people that are for your higher good with lots of followers, because I felt so bad because this person felt like they met an idol, even though you shouldn't idol people, but you know you like people when you meet them. And they ended up not being anything close to who they thought they were when they needed them most because they paid for their time. And that sits with me in a different way because I hear it time and time again. And I didn't need to know who the person was. It was irrelevant because I'm not there for them. I'm there to help the person that was talking. So just hearing all that and all that craziness, it just is disheartening because at some point they lost their way. They lost what they were doing and why they were doing it. Your accolades don't mean anything if it doesn't have change. Change in society, change on the people that you deal with, change in your family, change with your loved ones. It doesn't mean anything. You can have all the titles in the world and don't mean shit. You know why? Because that's all you're going to have when you leave here. All you're going to have is what little influence you made on somebody's life that you didn't even think was significant. And that is why I like Ifa so much. That is why I'm okay with being the cuss you out, okay, yeah. I don't have to drop F-bombs and stuff all the time. Y'all know that only happens with energy. But that's why I'm okay in being that. And that's why I try to remind you all that I'm human. I'm not going to be happy-go-lucky all the time. Nobody is. That's just life, right? But the one thing that I'm going to always do is do my best to do the right thing. Because that's who I was bred to be. And even my Odu speaks to that. Dead ass. My whole birth Odu from initiation speaks to that. And then constantly told, keep doing it. So I'm going to read now some more of the message. It brings me closer to what I've been told for my next steps, honestly. Mally, I'm so glad. And I'm happy for you. I still can't figure out who some of the stuff in my divination is talking about. No worries. That's not the important part. After Ebo, you can ask a yes or no. You only get 3 now. But the reason it's not important because you know it's going to be good. Doesn't matter who. Just know they're going to be dealt with. I know we want to say who because so we can, step back a little bit. Doesn't matter. Me either. My divination 2 years old. But your stuff is still happening. So So check that out. And you've only had one. You see what I'm saying? When you feel the need, you'll get another one. And when I say that, people think I'm nuts. We have somebody that's on their third one. They do one like every 6 months. Dead ass every 6 months. And not once did I come back and go, y'all need to hurry up. You need to get one like every month. You need to do so and so and so. Why? Because when you feel you need one and you can do it, you'll do it. And it won't be a struggle to do it. I don't have to sell you That's not the point of all this. It's probably why to this day I don't have 50 million followers and stuff now, because I'm not going to kiss nobody's ass, and I'm not going to come up with topics just to create confusion among people, or to try to push something people really, really want to see or do and then fail them in the end. I come on here and I teach when I feel like there's something I need to talk about because of things happening or questions that have occurred or something that I've noticed. And honestly, my content lives on for itself. There are things that I talked about a year ago that's still relevant to the new people who find me, or even to the people who've been here but never seen that live or that video. So I just send it to them. They get mad at me when I tell them because they want to talk to me on the phone. They don't need to talk to me because I've already said it enough, and therefore it's here. You know what I'm saying? So it's there. Elijah, we're glad to have you. Thank you. You see what I'm saying? It just killed me. Always trying to say women can't lead. And I understood what you said, Don. So this is what I'll say to you. I know that you're of the adage that men should lead. And I get that. But that does not mean in the dynamics of the world and the way energy is, that there is not a balance and who takes the lead when. So again, you come and you learn from me. I'm your point of contact. I'm your teacher. If I ever need the balance, that's what it's for. So whoever needs to take the lead based on the benefits of who they are and what it is that they're destined to do, those roles will change. But my other point to that is I have people to go to. There are people that sit up here touting Ifa, and go, it's me by myself and maybe one other person. But see, in taking the lead, the person I have to go to also has other people to go to. And those other people are both male and female. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for someone to say, I can't learn from an Iyanifa, I need to learn from a Babalawo, that's crazy to me. For you to join an Ile in the States and be like, only a man can lead me, that's crazy to me. But now, after much fighting, there are women who are in their church leading. So is there balance in that? Yes. But whoever needs to lead at the time they need to lead, it becomes evident, and that's what happens. No one person can take control. Even in relationships and family structures, those people that have partners and that are with people, they know what they're good at. And that person takes the lead on that thing when they need to, where the other person takes the lead. That's how Ishe operates. This is why when doing rituals, they're done a certain way and include certain aspects. Even children are even part of certain aspects because of this same thing. At some time, they need to take the lead because it's a system. It's not I and me and my ego. It's a system. And that's what I appreciate about it. Okay. Person who said he was a bum, and I'm not sure if he was, and I sent my money to. Don't understand. We all get DM and DM. Correct. You're already there, Amina. You're already there. Here, I have an application, but I haven't officially launched it. But whatever I'm going to do here. And by the way, on the community tab, I think I'm going to post when I'm going to start talking on Clubhouse, just so y'all know. So I'll start using that app because some of you want to talk, and I don't always want to have to be on like camera. Y'all know, do pictures. So do these things, and then when you're ready and you feel you want to learn more, do that. But these videos and being here and engaging with me on socials and IG and all the things, particularly here and right now, Talk of Tick. But I'm going to do a Clubhouse. I'm already on there. Y'all can find me by my name, the same name you have here. Go ahead and find me and follow me. and I'll start doing rooms on there. And it'll probably be late at night craziness when I'm want to go to sleep. So thank you. The official launch hasn't happened yet, and that's nothing but my fault after we got the name approved. But it's coming. Let's just say this is our virtual Elay as it is. Now, let me speak on that too, and I need to get off here. I've had people hit me up because they want to learn from people in person and be around them and do all the things. Let me tell you, we got two of our members right here that are in the DC area, and they have seen me but initiation. And one has seen me at a hotel before initiation. Shout out to you, Iyadasumo. Okay. All right. If you think that we sitting up having coffee and stuff all the time, based on schedules and stuff, no, we don't. They'll email or call, or we'll do they do video calls together as a family. All the Ias and Baba get together and do a video call with each other. Okay, as a family. I jumped on and surprised them recently. They know if they have questions, they ask the questions. We're in a group chat and stuff together. But if you think we sitting in front of each other's faces and stuff all the time, no, nope. You know what they're doing? Because after initiation, they're learning who they are, and that's hard. They're learning some basic things about who they are and having a more understanding of this tradition at a common level. They'll get all the foo-foo stuff later, but once they get this part over with, it'll be there. And some are going into their second year now of learning who they are. And they've been learning that through assisting me with helping people in their situations. They've also been learning that because now they can tell you, and my EOS and stuff that are in here now, respectfully, our EOS, because you know, Alu and I want you to tell them right now, you've probably prayed more in your life since you joined this Elay than you've ever prayed in, under anything you've ever done, and more in your life for other people. They now see on the other side when I ask them to pray as an Elay for clients that come to us or people who are not initiated. But this is what I'll say. Today, Alua met someone who didn't make it to initiation today. And I want to say this so that you understand. They didn't make it to initiation. And because they didn't make it to initiation, I never told him that that was who was going to be getting their elbow done today. And so this person got the full reaction of Alu's face. Okay? So they were on their way, didn't make it. I said, this is the person, and this isn't another person, because he remembers people's names very well. I said, this is a person that didn't make it to initiation. And the smile that came on his face, and he said, because they were like, yeah, I didn't make it, and they thought he was going to be some type of way. His smile that came on his face, and he told them, well, like, you'll be home when you get there. We're ready for you when you are. Because you have a family. So I want you to think about that for a second. So when I tell y'all, even though you come on here and you may just get an elbow and you may never do any initiation stuff, but when you have situations that cause you stress and strife and we have to talk with each other and figure out what we're going to do, he goes, okay, I remember this person going through this thing. It's him who messages me to say, how is this person doing? And what you don't understand, what's magnificent about that is we're not the only people he deals with. He deals with people all over. And he has a lot of mama's people, my EOS people, that have been going to him for decades, right? Since Tawo was born. That's how I met him. So just that long, he's been doing that he cares enough that he's saying this is what it is. And he's not saying it because he's pretending, and he's not saying it because he needs or wants your money. He was having that before we got over here, okay? He says it because he means it, and he doesn't say stuff he doesn't mean. So even when I get disappointed, when I'm like, we've helped these people, we did these things, we didn't do nothing, we didn't beat them down for money, we didn't do such and such, and they either turn their back or they do some shady shit or they get their life screwed up and then they turn around and come back. He says, okay, well, that's our job. Because that's just the kind of person and the family that we're a part of. So when you get anything done, when you ask about joining the Elay, as far as he's concerned, you got an elbow, you already a member. The only purpose of having structure of the Ile is because of the financial obligation to it in order for us to do ebos for you every month. There's an ebo done collectively for the Ile, and you still need to hold on and do your own ebo for yourself. But that collective payment is what that's used for. And then also funds of that will support the kids that we teach in the Ile, because people drop their kids off to learn Isheshe. So that's what that is. So when you ask how to join, you've already been a part. Just the formality of that monthly dues for that thing, okay. And something y'all don't know is Saturday is service typically there. The EOs will be there this time. The thing is, will we have a whole bunch of ceremonies that we can't do it, but maybe y'all will get to go. That's why during Ile you see the children come sing. They sing during service. Surprise, surprise, we have service, right? But I don't like using the word temple or things of that nature, because then people try to Christianize it, and that's not what it is. Even though that's, the building, and that's what it's called. But yeah, Saturdays is when our home has that. Queen, these are things you're gonna have to talk privately, so you don't tell everybody your business about what you got in your divination. Okay? For your own protection. So if you have questions, you get 5 questions about your divination, send them. And then after Ebo, you can ask your 3 questions to Ifa. And they can be life questions. They don't have to be anything pertaining to your divination. And they need to be yes and no. Okay, there was a man and a woman so-called teaching, and now I don't see them, even on the internet. Oh, well, that's interesting. I can't speak to that because, I came on here heavy and then disappeared. But I also was sick for a while, and then we had sick family. And when I say family, that includes Ile and everybody else. Everybody's our family. And we call them family because, let me tell you, stating your family is one thing. But for us in our Ile, you're family because you act as if you're family. We know that when we're in trouble, we can call each other. And when we call each other, nobody's going to turn their back on you. We know that when we act as a family and we just send money to somebody because we know they need that help, that's what an Ile does. That's what a home does. Because they need help. They didn't ask us for the money. And even when they do ask us, we put together and we send to them because we knew it took a lot of courage and it took a lot for them to even ask. We do things for them for birthdays or whatever that people may not even think about doing because they're like, well, why would you do that? We operate as if we were conjoined at the time we were born. That's how we operate. And because we operate that way, it's just different. We don't do this, you can't do this thing this way or such stuff. We don't do that. But when we're in trouble and somebody needs help, we're there. And that's what makes it different. It's not this fake, we wish you well. No, we honestly wish you well. And we really want you to work through your stuff. But I'm glad for the group that we have now because they give a shit about each other. And it's important to give a shit about each other. But the only way you can give a shit about each other is once you start working and learning on you. And they don't even have to talk all the time. They still know that if they need help, they can come. Thanks, Queen. That's it. We're like, okay, let's figure this out. That's it. And that's just who we are. And you know why we're that way? Because the foundation of Chief Annas Elijah is in us. And that's it. We're lucky to have the family that we have. And it's wonderful. Yep, we don't have to say nothing. We just gonna check on you. Okay. And now then they force me to get on the phone when I don't want to be on the phone because I already be running my mouth all day to some particular EIs because they the oldest. and so they get all the heat. Them and Marche, who, by the way, told me to tell you all thank you for your prayers, that she's doing much better and she's improving. And she says she will watch the live. She's going to be mad because I told her next time I go live that I'd send her the live. And now I got to tell her I lied. I'm going to tell her she was sleeping because she didn't answer my text earlier today. So then that way we can, get over it. But she said she's so appreciative and she does see your comments when you leave them. Okay. And she was like, and I missed the live. And she said she's coming back soon because she got to. Because if she doesn't start answering these questions, I'm going to start cussing people out in the email. Okay. But now I got the other EIs handling it. So that helps. And they buffer me cussing people out immediately. Okay. But she's good. Her voice even sounds good. You have no idea. She back to normal with her voice. And she's giggling and laughing. And I still have her learning stuff, even though she's not answering the emails as much. Okay. So I'll make sure. She told me to tell y'all that because she reminded me last night. Was like, if you go live, yeah, don't forget. And I'm like, okay, all right. If you text me, I won't answer, girl, because we haven't done your thing yet. I watch so many videos and I feel like we're one-on-one teachers. That's why I put them out here. I put the videos out here because it's legacy content, and I do it for Taiwo, and I tell her that. She knows that and she'll tell you that because she told me she's going to keep my legacy alive. That's what she just told me a couple of weeks ago. And I believe her. But I told her she needs to do things for herself. So if that's what she wants to do, fine. If from the good said, oh, we hope it's your tribe as well. And you know what? Ia Jaquetta, wasn't that you that said you hope you found your tribe? She's here, by the way. I believe that's Ia Jaquetta that said that. Ia Noble, you're still here, right? You kill me when you get quiet because nobody knows you really talk. Yeah, Naomi, I know you here, girl. You'll ride till sunset. Iya Sarita could be working and she's still here or dealing with her baby. And Iya Vivian is supposed to be taking her class. Didn't think I remember. Supposed to be doing that. How's that test going? And she on here. See, I got you. And Baba Reggie, the way I'm shocked that you were able to make it. And I have your little picture up on the community tab. You know, you need to go check it out. I think I sent you that photo. If I didn't, I need to. But we got to blur out my nipples because, or I got to get, I have the nipple covers. I need to wear them with that onesie because we can't be doing this again on this year. I cannot be wearing the stuff. If you see the same clothes, don't y'all be getting mad at me. They're easy to pack. But I cannot be wearing stuff and my nipples be showing through and everything. And where did the sweat come from around my neck? I don't know. And you standing on that mound, you look mad tall, but you and Ia Jaquetta about the same height. But you make us look like little people. Okay, you're heady. Okay, I'm glad. All right. I want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for the likes. Really. I want to thank y'all for your time and your energy. I'm going to let you go. I'll probably get on the talk a tick and not waste this outfit some more. Because I don't know if I'll be this cute tomorrow. You know how I am if I don't have to iron it. And because it's my special day. It's a dress. It's not a shirt. And I don't know where I got it from. I don't. But I'm going to put it on. I'm going to wear it. Even before the live, you know what I ate? So Tawo cooked me, made me a fruit salad during the Ebo. She peeled the little orange and she did the strawberries. She used her little knife when did the strawberries and she put grapes and that was cool. And then right before this live, I had some Oreo cookie ice cream. Yes, I did. I was like, this is what I'm going to eat today in celebration of me. Okay, all right. All right, all right, all right. So I'll see y'all in a little while sometime later on, either this evening or tonight on live. But it'll definitely be before I take these clothes off because I'm going to see y'all so people can see me not being in my pajamas all the time or having the picture up and talk again. And then that's it. Then I'm done being cute. Yes, I had ice cream and it was good. Okay? So that's what I did today. I should eat real food, but you know, it's real. It was really good. I'll go there as it is today. Okay. I'll see y'all in the live later on this afternoon, evening. And then if you don't have another app, go to Clubhouse, sign up, and go look for my name the same way it is here and add me. And when I want to just randomly talk about stuff and not be on camera, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to log in the Clubhouse and start a room. Okay? I love y'all to life. I hope y'all have a good one. In TTYL, in the words of Tavo, peace.